Hello and welcome to Serious Insights for Intentional Admins. I'm your host and Salesforce MVP, Christy Campbell, and I am joined today by a new friend I met at Northeast Dreamin', Charles Fosbrook, who is the Senior Salesforce Administrator at Case Facilities Management up in Massachusetts. Welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here.
I hope you enjoyed your first Dreamin' event.
It was
an
amazing experience.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about what you were doing in your career before you met Salesforce.
Absolutely. So I was in the military for 25 years, and on my way out of the military, as a lot of service men and women do, we're not really sure what we want to do when we grow up. So as I was transitioning out, I kind of discovered Salesforce through a friend who introduced me to a program called VetForce, which is now Salesforce Military. Mm-hmm. He said, "Hey, have you heard about this thing called Salesforce?" I said, "Absolutely not, but tell me more." So I got on and started doing a little bit of Trailhead as I was preparing to transition out of the military. Didn't have a ton of time for it. Loved the platform, loved what it did, thought it'd be cool, but kind of need to concentrate on getting a job after the military. So I kind of shifted my focus to contracting. So after 25 years in the Army, I was a contractor for the Air Force for 2 years, which was a complete different ball game, learning all sorts of new terminology, ways of doing things, everything else. During that time, I decided to continue my Salesforce journey, did modules. 2019, I joined an organization called Merivis, which is a great organization for veterans who want to get certifications and get into the tech sector and get into Salesforce. Joined them, got my admin certification in November of 2019, and was still a contractor, but really started looking hard to get into the ecosystem. Mm-hmm.
Was there something during that Air Force time that kind of specifically encouraged you to change directions, that you realized you did want to pick back up with Salesforce?
I knew I wanted to. I just knew I needed the knowledge and the experience and the certifications to be able to break into the Salesforce world. I'd never been a techie. So jumping from the military into the tech world is kind of a big jump. Actually, jumping from the military into any world is a big jump. So, so it was good to get in and do some Trailhead and get in and meet people in the community, and join the Merivis family and get my first certification under my belt. And then I really started looking. I did a little bit of side consulting before I landed my first full-time position in October of 2020.
And you've mentioned some awesome resources between Salesforce Military and Merivis. What resources did you find the most helpful in deciding to skill up as an admin?
I think Merivis. I've actually, since that point, I've taken a total of 4 courses through Merivis. I've been a lead, cohort lead. I've really met a lot of awesome people in the community through Merivis, through the Trailhead community, through Northeast Dreamin' now. It's an amazing resource for military veterans. Trailhead's a great place also for new people joining the ecosystem. The Trailhead community is a great place to meet people, your local user groups, your local Salesforce Saturday groups. All of those are great resources.
I love it. And I love that there's you can meet this person over here that then also gets you over here, and then you meet someone that does this, right? It kind of just ends up kind of all connecting to lead you to having some guidance on the trailhead.
Absolutely, and everybody out in the community wants your success, which is unlike any other community I've met. People look out for you and try and help you, and they see that you're looking for a job. They're like, "Hey, look at this one. I got this offer," or "Hey, I got this person who's looking for something," and they really try and help people set them up for success, because everybody wants everybody in the Salesforce ecosystem be successful.
Right. We all want everyone to drink all the Kool-Aid.
Crazy notion.
Less competitive than maybe you've experienced in the past. Exactly.
Yep.
So when you did start looking for a role, is there something specific you might recommend to someone looking to land their first, that maybe has the cert, looking to land their first job?
Yeah. Your first job is going to be the toughest job. Trying to get that first job is very difficult. A lot of companies say, "Okay, you have a certification, but you don't have any experience. So show me what you can do. Show me some experience." So a lot of ways you can get that through volunteering with organizations. I started kind of doing a side developer org for my son in Cub Scouts and created, kind of built it out so we could track all of our stuff and create reports and dashboards for people to see, and they love that. Another way you can do it is you can come up with an idea and build your own org, build your own app, build something that means something to you because you're going to put a lot more into it, and then you can demo that to jobs, to recruiters, to on interviews, and you can show what you can do and the ideas you have in the ecosystem and what knowledge you've built. I think those are some great ways to get that first kind of really get in the door and actually get talking to somebody.
Yeah, I love the idea of building things out for yourself that you need in your life. Sometimes, coordinating with somewhere to volunteer and the imposter syndrome and or just lack of experience, right? And not maybe having someone to pair with, and that can be a little more challenging. But like you said, building something for your life that you need that then is teaching you those concepts is really just, to me, the next step after Trailhead.
Absolutely.
Of, building things out for your own life. So you've now done some consulting, moved into an official role, still building for the Scouts too. So what advice would you give to other intentional admins that are maybe looking to start this journey?
I'd say, really get involved in the community. Get involved in your Salesforce Saturday first off. The Salesforce Saturday groups are great. It brings together all different Salesforce types of people. Everybody from admins, developers, people that work at Salesforce, people that work in other industries looking for Salesforce people looking for a volunteer person to come help them with a project. There are all sorts of people out there. And now in the time of virtual everything, it's a great time to hop into other virtual, Salesforce Saturdays from other cities, other states, other countries. There's so much activity out there that you can jump into and really learn and get to know people and build relationships and build that networking up that you need to build. And honestly, every job I've gotten since I left the military has been through networking. None of it's been from sending in an application and waiting and talking to somebody. It doesn't happen that way. Most of the time it's going to come from your networking, from somebody saying, hey, come talk to me. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a coffee. Let's talk about what you're doing, what you want to be doing. And that a lot of times leads to something else.
Yeah, I love that, especially because Salesforce Saturday itself is a grassroots thing, right? Of volunteers who just decided they wanted to work on Trailhead with other people. And as you mentioned, now virtually, even if you don't have one locally, you could start one, of course. Because I bet there's someone near you that also uses Salesforce, right? So
absolutely. Yep.
Awesome. So while you were navigating all the modules and projects, what would you recommend as a favorite Trailhead, something that someone might want to go do?
So one of my favorite ones that I did, I have a project management background. So one of the favorite ones I did was build a battle station app. And what a battle station app does is it's basically a Star Wars themed project management app that you can really go in and customize and turn it into as much of a project management app as you want. So it has a really, really useful application besides, building stormtroopers and ships and all this cool stuff. You can actually turn it into something that's really, really useful. And you can use that in your personal life too. Some project management in your personal life, if you're going to do a home project, or, you can even set it up to do things like shopping, grocery shopping, or whatever else. A million different uses for it, but it's one of my favorite ones.
I like it, and it's a great one. I've done it at some like Girl Develop It type classes that were introducing people to Salesforce. I think it's a great project for kind of introducing you to concepts and then some light actually admitting it and doing it. But it's a fun scenario, so it's not, it's something everyone can relate to.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Yeah, it's great.
I agree. Great choice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm so excited to hear that you're pivoting after the military has gone so well.
Thank you very much. It was great talking to you.